What is going on YouTube? It's Brendan from Market Makers, your home for Wyckoff and advanced Fibonacci TA and ugly Hawaiian shirts. I do have a pool party to go to, but I love you guys, so I want to make this video. Guys, I released my Gann fan tutorial yesterday. Educational videos are not usually popular. You guys made it popular on a Saturday nonetheless, so really do appreciate that support. If you want to learn how to draw Gann fans, check out that video. We do have a Gann master market technician in our room. He doesn't call himself that. I call him that because he understands Gann concepts very, very deeply. Gann is literally a lifelong journey. If you start getting into Gann, it is a rabbit hole you can be stuck in for a long time. Very interesting, complex trading system. Guys, we have an Elliott Wave trader. We have block state updates. We have harmonic trading. We have myself in the room. Check out our Discord trading channel, the join button right underneath this video. The BITGET tournament, $5,000 in USDT. Okay, $5,000. Download BitGet. It costs you nothing. You get to try out the exchange. This tournament is only available to people that use our link. I think we're gunning for July 4th, like an Independence Day in America type tournament. Okay, more updates to follow, but you can go ahead and download the platform and try it out, see if you like it. It's very similar to other platforms, but there is no VPN needed. There is no country restrictions, and you only need an email. I think you guys will love the platform. Let's talk about TA. We spent a lot of time on the weekly time frame, guys. I don't want to spend too much time on this, okay? Because this is something we've gone over extensively. One thing I do want you guys to pay attention to, we discussed it briefly in yesterday's tutorial video, the 45 line. In geometric trading, being above a 45 is bullish, being below a 45 is bearish, okay? And you can see here of Bitcoin being a parabolic asset, it never came down to retest this 45. It had its great run up and down, up and down. The first test, this May 9th candle, it just fell through it. So this is a bearish trend for the market. It is in a bear market in general. So is the Nasdaq, so is the Russell. This is growth in tech. It's all in a bear market, okay? Can it flip it? Sure. You need a big catalyst to flip it. And as you guys know that watch this channel, I track this so closely to the equities market. I do feel it is extremely essential to understand what's happening. And here on the 4-hour time frame for the Nasdaq, we had our bullish Wyckoff accumulation structure. We got our cup pattern. You see that? Got our cup, broke out. Tested the 200, 233, failed. Tested the 200, 233, failed. Pump back up above it, but then we hit the 618 on the dollar. Wick through it, fell back down. Now we have a nasty double top. Now I want to show you this on the daily. This is important because on the daily, it's just a couple of candles. And in the Wyckoff on the daily, you're holding your structure. As you can see, the Gann fan coming into heavy use here, okay? This market structure, I want you guys to understand something about bear markets. I've said this ad nauseum. 47 of the 50 biggest up days in the equities markets over the last 100 years happen in bear markets. This is not a big rally yet. We have a bifurcated market. We have bifurcated commentary. We have perma bulls on a lot of these networks saying, oh, this is a correction. This is a correction. And that's true as far as the S&P and the Dow are concerned. They're not in bear markets yet, okay? This is a correction. Most of the big banks, most of the big funds, they have the S&P hitting a new all-time high still this year, okay? So this rally, I want to see this rally go up. It basically needs to double. It needs to at least come up to the 1 fib, the 13,815, complete the golden rectangle. And if this rally got super bullish, which it has a chance to do, and again, I'm saying a chance, I'm not telling you that it is, it would go to the 1618, 15,252, intersecting the 45 line and the Gann resistance as well. And I say it has a chance because looking at the FOMC, this is the Fed, they're meeting June 15th and 16th, raising rates, previously forecasted to be 0.5, could be hotter. Maybe they bring it down some. The CPI report's coming out soon too, guys. It's going to be interesting to see what inflation's doing. But this is causing the commentary in the marketplace to be very bifurcated because, again, that Jamie Dimon comment, storm clouds last week, now it's a hurricane. Living in Florida, I can tell you it is a class 5 hurricane, okay? Because what we know about the marketplace, I know from working at an investment bank, and in June of '08 when I joined, watching it crater around us, watching the marketplace crater around us. Most of these guys missed the bubbles. They don't understand the concept, the anatomy of a bubble. Most of these funds miss the bubble. This is why they make movies about the guys that knew it was a bubble, like Michael Burry and The Big Short. Margin Call, which isn't about anybody in particular, but it's about the actual events. Okay, there's movies that are made about these people, and there's other people as well that knew this was a bubble. And the same thing is repeating itself, okay? So you have to watch this marketplace, and in these markets, you can get massive rallies. What I would suggest to you is that you don't focus on so much as to, when is this thing going to fully crater? You have to remember these bear markets, when it's truly the bottom of a bear market. Think March 2009, the S&P was at 666. Nobody, after a 50% decline, nobody wanted to be in the equities market. Do you feel it's that way now? Do you hear people saying, I'm not going to be in this market, forget that? No. A true bottom in a bear market is when nobody wants to be involved in a market. We haven't even had the VIX go over 40. In the dot-com crash, the VIX didn't go over 40 till we had the event of 9/11 in 2001, okay? You're going to have a catalyst that's going to cause the markets to truly capitulate, and they're not there yet, but between now and then, you're going to get soft bottoms that you can rally from. And so far, this is a disappointing rally, but you're building a structure. This last rally was almost 18-19%. I want to see this come up, do a 20% rally minimum here at the 1 fib. That's what my target is. And if this does rally, you're going to see Bitcoin rally as well. Let's jump over to Bitcoin. Let's look at the daily. Again, I laid out the Gann fans, and the reason I'm showing you this is because this is important to understand. A lot of people are asking how to use Gann fans. There's support and resistance lines, okay? One thing to pay attention to is when you intersect the angles in a Gann fan, you typically get price action, okay? It very rarely does it just come through and do nothing and just keep coming through like it's doing now. If you look at this, when you hit Gann angles, you find support. When you hit Gann angles and you pump up into them, you can roll over, fall back down through them. Even here, when it looks like you're just passing through, you go on to make a rise, make a double top, and descend, okay? And you can see tracking all along here, falling through. So there's usually price action associated. Very rarely is it just purely sideways in a volatile asset like Bitcoin, the most volatile mass traded asset in the world. So at some point, and you're getting close to it, depending whether you wave up or just go sideways, you're getting close to it here in the next few days where something's going to happen. You're going to have a move in the market. And that's what we're trying to determine here with TA is probabilities, not possibilities. Anything's possible, down, up, sideways. What's the probabilities? And that's what TA is, right? So let's look at some things here. Let's look at our volume down, left to right, like we want it to be. RSX is basically at the median line. The compression, the volatility, what I'm tracking closely is compressed, and it's very flat, okay? Very flat, very compressed, not a lot of activity in the market. I'm telling you, this is following the Nasdaq. It's waiting to see what the move is here in the Nasdaq. It's the same money, guys. 2 out of 3 operators in this marketplace, according to Morgan Stanley. 2 out of 3 operators in the crypto marketplace are institutions. It's the same money. They want to see what happens with the Nasdaq, and then you'll get some movement. Looking at the 8-hour, when you lay out your Gann fan correctly, again, watch that video to see it. Look at the channels that form. Look how price is tracking up along the fan. Look how it's being used as support. And you can see this when you fall through the levels. If you fall through, you typically test the bottom for support. If you pump through it, you typically test the next level as resistance. And price can track very beautifully in these fans. This is a current trend-based Gann fan, okay? So this is what we're looking at here. I want to see if we can hold this angle and wave up, make our cut pattern. If not, be aware your 45 is down here, right? And this angle is ascending, so it's going to change for the Bitcoin price. 27, high 27s, mid 27s, going up into the 28s as you work your way up the angle. And that's where you can look for support resistance. Also utilizing fibs, you can get confluence with your primary fibs, your 382.5618, okay? Primary fibs. And then looking at this, let's look at some indicators here as well on the 8-hour time frame. 8-hour time frame. We're getting compression, concaving in. Again, we want volatility to rise. Moving averages angled up. The ATR volatility is dropping like crazy. I went back a year. This is the lowest it's been since last summer and lower than before that, but I got tired of scrolling to the left, okay? And then you can see our RSX is waving back to the upside. Volume is so low, these candles are like null, well below the moving average, okay? Well below the moving average is the volume. That's my moving average cloud. You can see that with the volume. Guys, a lot of people asking me where I get some of my indicators. Go to Fractal Trade 15. He's a member in our room. He makes a lot of the indicators that I use. You'll find a lot of different indicators there. Great site, including these trend gradient moving averages that change color, and you can change the type of moving average that it is. Great guy. Great programmer for indicators as well. And so yeah, if we do fall through this channel, you can see we're gonna have more volatility here in the range. But again, this is a very defined trading range. With the Nasdaq holding this bullish structure, I expect Bitcoin to move up if the Nasdaq moves up. If we have a green week, if the Nasdaq starts falling apart, I expect Bitcoin to fall apart. And do we want to see anything else here? Let's look at our cloud here on the 8-hour. Look at what's happening. Again, with accumulation, guys, resistance is weakening. Resistance is futile. You see this? So with accumulation, resistance is weakening. You're going to find a way to pump through these clouds if you continue bullish accumulation, okay? The targets is what you need to be concerned with. The 382, 31,185, 32,991, 618 at 34,798. My first set of realistic targets. Again, even here on the 8-hour, long-term moving average 200, 233, moving towards that 618. Flipping to the 4-hour, you guys already know this because we've talked about this a lot. The 4-hour time frame, the kiss of death, the long-term moving averages, the 200, also hitting the Gann fan. I mean, peak confluence for resistance there, okay? Also hitting the Gann fan, and you kissed it and you fell. Now, again, the good thing that came out of this is you have your low, you did fall, you fell deeper, you did not hold your trading range, you did not hold the support line here. You did fall, but you still have a higher low. And then look at price tracking along the Gann fan. You see the channel? You're at the bottom of the channel. So you can come back up to the top, and that may be what happens as these descend. You may be battling them towards the top of this channel, closer to the 382 to the 0.5 fibs, somewhere in here, okay? That's if we hold this structure. Once again, if we do not, you are descending back down into a lower channel and you have price descension, okay? So we need to watch this with your indicators, and you already know what the cloud looks like. It's non-existent really for the 4-hour time frame. You got price, you have volatility compression. You are starting to get a little bit of a wave up here on the volume, but your volume is down overall left to right. And let's go ahead and get rid of these lines. And let's look at the cloud. So we did have a support cloud that was forming. Let's see what happened with that. So we did have our support cloud that we fell through, right? We fell through the weak spot, the twist, the Kumo twist in the clouds, fell right to the Gann fan, marching up the Gann fan. And as you can see, this cloud is so minimal, I couldn't even draw it. The line is so thin, I can't even draw it, okay? So this is very thin. So at any point, we could be exiting up or down, watching to see if the Nasdaq can hold its structure and go up. Again, the bias, the way this is accumulating, is still to the upside, but understanding the same way altcoins follow Bitcoin, I have Bitcoin following the Nasdaq. And a lot of people will disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine, guys. Your disagreement doesn't affect my TA. My TA doesn't affect your view on the market. We can all view these things differently, but that's what I see. If the Nasdaq pumps, Bitcoin will follow. If the Nasdaq dumps, Bitcoin will dump. So watching it hold key structure will help give you an idea of what's happening in the marketplace. And right now you are holding that key structure because you don't want to fall down into this other channel. Again, you would be descending in price at that level. Okay. All right, guys, I think that's good for the video. Another video coming tomorrow. Have a fantastic Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Man, my days are all messed up from the holiday last Monday. So have a fantastic Sunday afternoon, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody.